Hey, my reactors. So we on chapter 9. I don't want to see them. They try to jump me first. The pillow underneath Fur's head was wet with tears from hours of crying. Her mother did the unthinkable, and she would never ever forgive her. All she wanted to do was make her happy, and it seemed as if nothing she did worked. Earlier that day, when Brownie snatched Fur out of the event and walked her toward the restaurant, she had no idea what she had in store. Along with her horrible mother, Fur watched her turn the water on before smacking her multiple times in the face. Brownie blows were so heavy that her hand burned, but instead of stopping, she alternated from left to right. Fur was stunned at the rage she oppressed, and for a while she didn't feel anything but extreme pressure on her cheeks. After about 30 blows, Brownie sat on the pissy public toilet, no tissue, and pushed down as hard as she could, using her stomach muscles. 15 minutes later, she was able to make a bowel movement. But instead of flushing it, she put her hands in a bowl and picked up a chunk of her shit. She walked towards her and she backed up into the door. You still want to be black like me? Brownie laughed and cried at the same time. Then here you go. She smeared the soft feces all over her face. Fur moved her head swiftly back and forth, but eventually Brownie was able to hold her head in place. She didn't care where she put it, and that included her daughter's eyes, lips, and nose. She snapped a long time ago. How you like that, bitch, huh? Fur body temperature rose, and she could feel herself breaking out into hives. The humiliation she endured in the restaurant was nothing compared to what Brownie put her through when she made her walk back into the party. Hold on for a second, y'all. Destiny! 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 Come here, Destiny! Hold on, y'all. I forgot to take out my chicken. Destiny! I hate, don't y'all hate when you call your children and they act like they can't hear you in the room right next door. Come here! Look at the deep freezer, take that bag of chicken out, put it in the sink. Yes, because I should have took it out early this morning, but take it out. Put it in the sink. Furry body temperature rose, and she could feel herself breaking into hives. Oh, the humiliation she endured in the restaurant was nothing compared to what Brownie put her through when she made her walk back into the party. Her younger cousins, older aunts, and grandmother looked upon her with pity, and she wanted to die. No matter how many years passed, this would be the moment they all remember. People covered their mouths and noses as the smell of the shit rose from her face and Brownie hands. Irma, unable to control her bodily functions, ran towards the door so she could throw up outside. She couldn't make it. 2 feet from the door, she lost everything she ate an hour ago as it splashed to the floor. Now, how does she look, everyone? Brownie grinned, showing her crazy maniac side. Isn't she still the cutest cotton of us all? Fur chest rose and fell as she sobbed and looked upon the adults for help. Someone, anyone, do something, please. Brownie, what the fuck is wrong with you? Elise said, rushing towards her with a murderous look in her eyes. Don't worry, Mama, she all yours. Brownie ran away, leaving Fur alone in the middle of the floor. I'm sorry, child. I really am. She watched her daughter scamper away and hugged Fur tightly before ushering her out of the party. Elise couldn't hate her daughter more at that moment if she tried. Rage, confusion, and sadness filled her heart, and their relationship will never be the same. Brownie would pay for this in life, but Elise didn't know how. At a phone booth outside the wreck, Elise called Cosmo. third cousins on her father's side to pick her up. She figured a change of location for a few hours would do her good. Plus, she wanted a few moments alone with Brownie that she doubt would be nice. When Cosmo saw that Brownie did this to his kid cousin, he flipped. Since Elise didn't give him the heavy on the phone before he came, he had to leave her outside the wreck until he could go to the grocery store to buy some trash bags. Laying them all over his seat, he scooped her up and took her to his mother Angie's house. It took them 2 hours to clean her up, and Fur enjoyed the time she spent with her aunt and cousin. Angie was into holistic medicine and looked 10 years younger than her actual age. She never got so much as a cold, having been sick since she was a kid, When she went to make them dinner, Fur decided to ask Cosmo a question as they sat at the dining table. Cosmo, did Grandma tell you what I have? The porpia? He laughed at the way she pronounced it. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's 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 fucked up. That is hereditary. But that's all I know about it. That it makes your skin look bad. I wish I didn't have it. She looked down at the wooden table. I can't go out in the sun sometimes and nobody likes to hang out with me because I never can leave the house. All I want to be is normal. He felt bad for her because he knew she was given a tough break in life. Look, I don't care how long it's going to take me. I'll find out more about this shit. And when I do, I'll get you the help that you need. She believed him. Cosmo has been there for her many times before, like when she suffered from extreme headaches when she was 5 and nothing seems to work. He felt if she calmed down, it would go away. After talking to his mother, he told her how she said she should breathe, but they still wouldn't go away. Thinking on his feet, he suggested she drink orange juice with chocolate syrup and things would be fine, and it worked. The concoction had nothing to do with getting rid of her headache, but Costco knew she needed to believe a remedy would do the trick. Fern was so destroyed that it was hard for her to fathom that she alone was able to make things better. To her, he was very close to God. She enjoyed the rest of her time with them until Elise requested he bring her home. Cosmo respected Elise, but he wasn't bringing her anywhere until he could be sure Ronnie was nowhere to be found. Elise told him she wasn't allowed back in her house for at least 2 days, so he said he was on his way. Cosmo, how come Mama hate me because I'm light-skinned? She asked from the passenger seat of the car. I don't think she ever really loved me. Cosmo, a young drug dealer and recreational thug, believed in family, so it killed him to keep the secret he knew about Brownie from her for so long. If his little cousin wanted the truth, he would give it to her, ready or not. Your mother hates herself. She just takes it out on you. He continued to drive. I want her to love me, but I don't know how or what to do. Cosmo frowned and said, your mother fucked that white coach at your school, Coach Jaffrey, or some shit like that. But niggas call him Jay. Pearl looked at him strangely, not sure if she heard him correctly. They used to be together when they were kids, and from what I heard, it was serious. Ronnie wanted more from the relationship, but I don't think Jay could do the public thing. Your mother's dark skin walking next to his white skin gave him a complex. When people looked at them out in the streets, you gotta be real strong to deal with that kind of shit. I ain't gonna say if the white boy loved her or not, but I know your mother loved him more, so she couldn't handle the rejection. When she met Upshur, she left Jay alone and got serious with my uncle. Me and Mom thought she was done with Jay for good, but then people started saying they saw her around town with the dude when she was married to Upshur. He took a sip of the bottled water in his car. He took a sip of the bottled water in his car. This was all before you were born. He looked at her and saw he had her undivided attention. Anyway, Mom told him to watch out for Brownie because she was not to be trusted, but Upshaw wouldn't listen. We figured she done so much shit in the dark that he would forgive the sin she committed in broad daylight. He shook his head. That white boy fucked her mind up, and she ain't never been the same. He looked over at her. So no matter what you do for her, you'll never be able to get through to her. The only thing Bronny wanted was to marry that white man, and your light skin reminded her that she could never have him. A few years later, I think he married some red sister, so he was definitely into black women. Cosmo was young and without tact, but that was his way. He didn't stop to think about he didn't stop to think what the information he dropped would do to her. First stomach squirreled and her mind raced upon hearing the news. It dawned on her then that whatever Dr. Martha gave her must be working. Otherwise, she would pass out today. Saying as though it was the worst one of her life. What are you saying for her? Asked. You already know, little cousin. She swallowed. You saying Coach Jaffrey was my father? Silence. She didn't believe him. She needed to speak to her father, the one who held her in his arms and protected her from harm. So it was a good thing she was going home. The smart part of her said it made sense. Her light skin and cold black hair was just like his. Still, she loved Usher with everything she had, and she desperately wanted to ignore what her cousin was trying to imply. Cosmo, do you like dark-skinned girls or light-skinned? Neither. Huh? I love all women. The light-skinned versus dark-skinned shit is dead to me. I be seeing chicks all the time bleach out their faces, forgetting their necks and a whole bunch of other crazy shit like that. Like something is wrong with them. Black period, no matter what shade you are, he shrugged. In Africa, before we were shipped over here, the blacker you were, the better. Now dark chicks hate who they are and want to be something else. He laughed. The funny thing is, just like Coach Jeffrey was into your mother, a lot of white niggas be digging on black bitches. The Italians, the Russian, and Chinese too. They just not as vocal as the black dudes who date a white broad for status. He pulled up to her building and parked. I love a bitch as dark as Grace Jones or as yellow as you. I just don't give a fuck. Then again, that's just me. That night when Fur heard footsteps outside the bedroom, she braced herself for the worst, thinking it was Brownie wanting to finish her off. But when she turned around and faced the door, she saw Mia instead. In pig Latin, Mia said, you want to kill that bitch, don't you? Silence. Stop with the crying, she continued. She's not coming home tonight. Grandma was serious as a motherfucker about that shit. Plus, she went to see about Daddy, so you ain't got to worry. Relax. When Cosmo dropped her off early that night, the neighborhood was buzzing about the triple homicide Upshaw committed. Unknowingly, the family he killed was the same family responsible for the murder of their son's pregnant girlfriend and her father. To some, he was a hero, which Elise was sure he would spend to his advantage. More interest in her father than Brownie, for as you think he's going to get out of jail anytime? Again, this time? Yes, Mia said confidently. Daddy always beat the raps. She leaned against the doorway. But they saying he murdered some people in broad daylight. It don't make no difference. Shit gonna be cool. Plus, you know it's the boy who killed his pregnant girlfriend in Virginia. People in the neighborhood loving him right now. Mia walked into the room and sat on the edge of the bed. It sank a few inches due to her extreme weight. There was love in her eyes as she softly touched her sister's legs and looked at her. Fur, Mom was wrong as shit for what she did to you. But that's her problem. Don't make it yours. The girl Coconut and some other girls are outside to see you. Go hang out and have some fun. I don't want to see them. They try to jump me, Fur pouted. And I put them bitches in their place just now, too. Mia frowned. And your ass should have stood out there rumbling every last one of them, one by one, instead of running. Oh, don't think I forgot about you lying on me about fucking her mama juice that day either. You owe me for telling her I really did that shit. Anyway, them bitches out there being fake. I know it, but what? But that's what bitches do. You want to be popular, so you gotta play along for her. The disease we got fucked you up way more than us. Now you got a chance to make a few friends and have a normal life. When Fur didn't seem to be buying it, she said, let's not forget that it was your fault anyway. You should have never. That was the mail. Um, Sorry about that, y'all. You should have never. You should have never jumped in the business, and told that girl what Shannon said behind her back. They probably gonna ask you what happened with Daddy and all that other stuff. Play along and be a hood star. You deserve it. Fur wanted to tell her about what she learned about her real father, but she pushed it down into the pits of her stomach. Never to think about it again. But what if they know? Fur wiped tears off her face. That's mama put shit on my face. That mama put shit on my face in front of everybody. How could they? I didn't tell anybody, and you know mama didn't either. Okay. What about our cousin? You know they talk too much and they were all there. Mia was growing frustrated at her sister's tender heart. Fuck them, Mia scolded. At least go outside and see what they want. If they do know you want people to see you with your head held high, not low. You a cotton bitch. Toughen up and act like it, Mia said seriously, and the temperature gone down. So you know all the cute little boys gonna be out there. Your face clearing up up a little bit, but thanks to Dr. Martin. And if you stop having panic attacks and calm down, you might find yourself a boyfriend. Mia was right. Why should she suffer because of who she was or because of how she looked? Suddenly, Farrah had a new goal in mind. If people thought she was pretty because of her light skin, she would learn to use the outside curve to wrest it to her advantage. Looking up at her big sister, she said, fuck mama, I gotta do me. Now you're talking, Redbone. So I will be back with chapter 10. It's going to be 2 years later. But I'm not like y'all. I don't like hurting people. Farrah. Bye, my reactor.